describe it to a newcomer, I get it. But what really impresses me and makes me in awe is the fact that you are all here of your own devices, wanting to better yourselves in the world and giving up your time to be evaluated. Nobody likes criticism, constructive or not, really. To put yourself in this position, I'm truly inspired. Anyway, I digress. So I'm here today and I'd like to talk a little bit about East meets West and bridging the gap of culture through communication. And I think that's a good way I can start this is by telling my story. So, when you're ready, I'm ready. My name's Leena Sharma. I'm a British-born Indian, which means I was born in the UK to Indian parents. My parents are from Assam in the northeast. I'm sure you're all familiar with that place. And in the 1960s, they were brought to England as doctors. They were looking for physicians from India to help with the national health system in the UK. Neither of them had been abroad before, highly educated, and they were like, we just want a better future for us and our children. So off they went to England, and that is exactly what they did. They had 3 girls, all of us born in England, and I think at some point they were deciding, should we or not return to India, because they felt like aliens in this place. So they were like, what about our children though? They've been brought up in a British environment. How are we going to integrate them back into India? You know, we've encouraged them to be socially apt within this society. What's it going to be like for them when they eventually go back? So like, I know, let's send them to boarding school. So that's what they did. The 3 of us were sent to Dehradun, to boarding school. So I was there for my formative years, my entire childhood, best years of my life. I learned Hindi, I learned classical dancing, I understood more about Indian culture, thrown into this with like a sisterhood in a girls' school, boarding together in dormitories. It was very sporty, very academic. It taught me a lot of discipline that I don't think the Western world has. So after that, I went back to university in England, and I started my career in London working in pharmaceutical marketing, working for a big corporation, very corporate, living my life, best life. I was earning good money, I was single, I was in London, I was just enjoying life. But then I pivoted my career because I was made redundant and I had 2 choices. Do I go back to corporate or do I follow my passion? My passion is dance music, electronic dance music. And I was like, this is my chance, I can do whatever I want, this is an open book. And so I moved myself to Ibiza. Does anybody know where Ibiza is? It's a small island in the Mediterranean, Spanish speaking, and it's the capital of dance music culture. So I took a risk, took myself there, and I set up a marketing agency for electronic dance music. So I was marrying my passion with my corporate experience in marketing. So I call myself the Sharma company, which is very interesting. Nobody else had this domain name. How many Sharmas are there in the world? I was like, I hit the jackpot today that nobody took the Sharma company. And it's now in its 15th year of existence, and I've made a really good career out of that. I will never go back into an office. I love being my own boss, working for myself, so here I am. But as a hustler and a born kind of boss lady, I'm always looking for other projects. So I also run a nightclub in Croatia. So every summer I go and move to Croatia, 2.5 months, look after this nightclub. Honestly, best education and communication ever is dealing with people in a nighttime situation when you're sober and they're not, trust. So yeah, that's probably the best MBA I have, is working in this club. So I've been doing that for 15 years. And I also take on a lot of projects. I'm a DJ, and I generally like to fill my time with lots of projects. Now, as I'm like approaching my latter years, I want more time freedom, right? I want to be able to, although work hard, if I'm not working, I'm not getting paid, right? Nobody's giving me a salary, I don't get holiday pay, I don't get sick pay. I'm very fortunate because I get to work from one of my favourite beaches and balconies all over the world. I travel a lot, but I'm always working, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I want that time back, but I still want that lifestyle. So I'm always looking for something to fill that gap. Guys, I'm going to get to why I'm here soon. Bear with me. So, where was I? I'm always looking for projects. Now, last year, 18 months ago, I was approached by a friend in the UK who said, listen, I work with a wellness and beauty company, and we're about to expand into India next year. Would you be interested in hearing more? And I'm like, what do I know about skincare and beauty and wellness? That's just not my wheelhouse. I work in dance music and I'm a businesswoman. However, the India part, something inside me just was like, I need to know more about this. So this is where, although I spent my entire life working in the Western world, there's something about India. I come here every year. I live in Switzerland now. My husband is Swiss, but we got married in Assam. There's something that has always told me that my future lies here. I always thought maybe it'd be later in life, I'd do something charitable, philanthropic. So the moment she said there's business that you could move into India with, I was like, right, tell me more. Bear in mind, I knew nothing about skincare. I used to wipe my face with some water, finish. I didn't understand the science and innovation that is going on behind beauty and wellness, but what I did know is how India is economically right now and how the timing is perfect with the growing middle class, the demographic of so many young people who are hungry, who want to earn extra money, who want to work from their phones, work remotely, travel the world, and this is what this business can offer. So I put myself to work, and alongside all my other jobs, I have learned about the business, spent 18 months training, building it globally, and that brings me to Ahmedabad. We had our first ever launch event of the opening of the Indian market for a 40-year, multi-billion-dollar company from the US called New Skin. And it was through that I met Josh, because we connected on LinkedIn, because he was interested about learning the business. So that's why I'm in Ahmedabad. This is the beginning of my story. But what I've realised coming here and doing business, every year I've been coming back here, and what I've been doing is meeting family, friends, shopping, eating, usual stuff, right? But working in a business environment and marrying that Indian culture with doing business for a global company, my Indian roots have stood me in such good stead. I've been watching my colleagues who are at the top of the ladder in the global enterprise, but they don't know how to communicate with Indians. They don't understand the way that we do business, how open we are, how, Josh is like, you come to my house for lunch, so I'm like, why would I go to a stranger's house for lunch? I'm like, hello, yes, have you got your own cook? What's she making, These small things that make India India, what's going to make me successful here is this art of communication, and how my heart and soul are here, but I've got the business head of somebody with experience in the Western world. So fingers crossed, guys. We're going to be successful, and I really hope that I get to hear more about you guys and get to follow your journeys. You've heard enough about me, I'm sure, but I would love to know where you guys are going from tonight as well. So please let's all stay in touch, and thanks again for having me. Not sure if I fulfilled the requirements of that guest speech, but we gave it a go. So thank you very much.